What is Benedict Arnold's attempt to burn down the entire city of New London, Connecticut, Washington's crossing of the Delaware, and the Scopes monkey trial have in common with Reedsburg, Wisconsin? People that participated in these events were related to one of the first people and the earliest born person buried at Greenwood Cemetery, Sarah Fisher Darrow. Sarah was born in New London in 1764. No one buried in Reedsburg was born prior to that date. Benedict Arnold, who started out as an officer in the American Army at the outset of the Revolutionary War, switched sides in 1780. While fighting for the British, he led the raid on the city of New London, Connecticut on September 6, 1781, and set fire to as much of the city as he could. One of the buildings that burned to the ground was the tannery that was owned by the Fisher family. After the war ended, Sarah married Fisher Darrow, a Revolutionary War veteran. Fisher was said to have participated in the Boston Tea Party. They moved to Boonville, New York, where they lived until the death of Fisher in 1824. She then moved to Ohio with her son, Jedediah. One of Jedediah's sons, Fisher, had several children and named their fifth son Clarence. Clarence studied law and was admitted to the Ohio bar in 1878. He eventually moved to Chicago, where he became involved in several controversial trials as a defense attorney. One of the most famous trials was the Scopes trial of 1925 in Tennessee. Darrow defended John Scopes, who was charged with teaching the evolutionary theory in the school system. Darrow's opponent was William Jennings Bryan, a politician from Nebraska who ran for president 3 times. After spending some time in Ohio, Sarah moved on to Reedsburg to stay with her son Henry. Henry and his wife Luciba had settled in Winfield Township in 1854 after moving there from Walworth County. They lived previously in Ohio and New York. Their household initially consisted of 13 people, 8 unmarried children and 1 married daughter, her husband, and their daughter. Most of their children married and farmed in the area within a few miles of each other. Son Nathaniel and his wife, Elnora Campbell, eventually occupied the home farm. The name for Winfield Township was suggested by Henry at a town meeting in honor of General Winfield Scott, who ran as a presidential candidate against Franklin Pierce. Luciba's maiden name was Dan. Her grandfather was Colonel Johann Rall. Rall was a career Army officer who commanded the 1,200 Hessen troops fighting for the British and occupying Trenton during the American War of Independence. On Christmas Day night, General George Washington crossed the Delaware in a surprise attack at daylight against the Hessians in Trenton. During the course of the battle that day, Rall was hit by a musket ball and soon died from his injuries, but not before surrendering his position to Washington. Sarah died December 6, 1856, at the age of 92.